I only know because my grandkids like Little Debbie, so I know all the Little Debbies. And when I taught here, once a week, I would give we had like a homeroom class, I would buy them Little Debbies. So when I quit working, they're like, you need to start coming back because we have ordered all the Little Debbies. I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I can't eat that many at my house. Wow. You have a lot of willpower.
You know,
No, I
have these great cookies I make now. My husband likes them.
I have a secret cabinet where I keep all the kids' stuff so my husband doesn't eat it.
Yeah, I can't buy those stuff because I'm gobbling up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's that.
Chips in there and make.
Anybody have Mike's number?
Yeah, like no-bake cookies.
Yeah, and then.
Not with me, no.
Okay, I was just gonna tell him to call in versus. And then they kind of sanitize your sweet. I mean, it's still go-to, but it's phone because we don't have the. Don't know why we accept that. Yeah, see, I don't know.
Chocoholic, so.
Okay, I think it's 7 o'clock. I think let's call this meeting to order. Judy, would you do some roll call, please?
Okay, hang on, let me find all the people.
Just go around the room.
Okay, Jen Beal? Here. Patty Knoll?
Here.
Goldie Edwards?
Here.
Dan Brigman?
Here?
Carlin Dillon?
Here.
And Judy Tyler?
And this, are we waiting for Mike?
Is there anyone on
We don't have a quorum.
line?
Yeah, you do. 6 is 4. Oh,
We've got
I
a
guess I
quorum.
count. Forgot to count. I guess I count, okay.
Is there anyone online?
Not at the moment, I don't
Yeah.
think. You said Mike might be, but he's not here yet. Okay. Don't need to wait, do we? Okay. All right. Do you want me to do them? Oh, public comments. We don't have any visitors? No. Would you like to speak?
Sure. Sure. Let's see. So the first week of March, we partnered with the Holden Elementary. They had an open parent night. They asked us to come and talk about summer reading program. So we had a table. We were there till 7:30. Deb signed up 5 new patrons. She talked about our Saturday matinee, and the next day was Saturday, and we had 12 people for that.
Nice.
So they were all happy to hear about that.
Mhm.
So the movie matinee turned out great. And then we had our painting program last night, was a big success. We had 23 people, which is a little bigger than normal, which was really good. Kelly's doing our outreach at the Little Seeds of Faith Daycare. She goes in there once a month and does story time and a craft with them. They absolutely love that. And then I just wanted to mention our 2 patrons that passed in December. There was Virginia Riley and Fran Yoder, and they both had been patrons for 20 plus years. And each one of them had left donations for the Holden Library, and totaling around $3,000, give or take. Yeah. So we have those that we're going to buy some really good things for the children's area. That's awesome. And last night, even during our painting program, Kelly was over here. I was behind the desk. I signed up 6. And that's not normal in a day's time. 6. We usually get 6 a week.
Right.
But last night we were pretty busy we have a ton of new people moving to Holden.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Courier donated like 40 new puzzles to us. She brought those in a couple of days ago, so we have those too. That's all that's been going on.
That's good. Thank you.
Thanks.
So question,
Yes,
who were the 2 people who died?
Virginia Riley,
R-I-L-E-Y.
Riley,
And
Fran, Fran, Yoder, Yoder.
Both past elementary teachers. from
Yes.
Holden.
Yes.
Decade.
Decade, yes.
I don't know.
Yes, that's because
Somebody-
Fran was 96.
Yeah.
Online.
Mike.
Oh, there he is. Okay, I didn't see that.
Mike is.
Hi, Mike.
okay.
Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Is he outside?
Are
No,
you
it's okay.
talking to me?
Oh, we are
that's not
talking to you. Sorry, the
I'm
computer.
like, my name isn't Mike, but hi.
Shelley. Oh, hi, Shelley. Okay, all right, yeah. Okey doke, we're glad you're here. We thought Mike was calling in, but it's you, so.
Sorry about
yeah.
that. My computer had to do the mandatory restart and it lost a whole lot of passwords.
Oh, it's okay. You're here now, so we're good. You can hear us? Can you
Yes.
hear us? All right, okay. We are ready to do so do the consent agenda or the minutes of the closed meetings first?
You can include that in with the minutes.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna do the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of the two closed meetings on January 17th and on February 21st. Everybody got a copy of that? Okay. All right. Do I hear a motion?
Move that we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
All right, motion has been made and second to accept the minutes as written. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Michelle?
Hi.
Okey-doke. All right, motion carried.
No, we were just doing the minutes or the entire consent agenda?
All, the consent agenda, which,
All of it.
and this is included.
Right, but I mean,
Yes, the whole
Including the
consent agenda.
financials and-
That's what you said,
Is
right?
that your motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we need,
Thank you. You keep me straight,
do we
Judy.
need to pass
Well, I
this back,
just-
Jackie? I think we need to
Yeah,
pass
I-
this
Yes, if
back.
you'll
pass those closed
I'll take care of that.
Sorry.
No, that's good, thank you.
Okay. Is that everybody? Okay. All right. We're ready to move on. There's no unfinished business, so we're gonna move on to new business. First in order under new business is consider approval to use designated gifts from the Edwin, is that Guggen? Or Goodwin? I don't know how you pronounce that fund for the Lexington Tuck Pointing Project. And if I read that right, it's like $8,780.19.
So that, if we draw all of this money out of these funds, then those funds they're depleted and they'll go away. Correct, yes. Do we have to leave anything in them? Okay. It's just they're separated because they were left to us for a specific purpose. And it's usually a larger amount is why we do it that way, and I have to track it. Well, yeah, that's one less fund I have to track.
Yeah. Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I move we approve use the designated gifts from the Edwin Gogan Fund for the tuck pointing project at Lexington.
Second?
A second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded that we use the designated, the funds from the Edwin Guggen Fund for the Lexington Tuck Pointing Project. Any discussion? No discussion? Okay, will you take a vote, please?
Okay, Jane Bill,
Yes.
Patty Knox,
Yes.
Goldie Edwards,
Yes.
Dan Brickman,
Yes.
Carlin Zeller,
Yes.
Susie Tyler, yes, Michelle Amos,
Yes.
All right, motion carried. The next order on the agenda is consider approval to use designated gifts from the Helen Schaus Fund for the Lexington Tuck Pointing Project. And that looks like it's $3,125.67.
But what, I forget the total for the tuck point there.
It was $53,490.
I was gonna say 40 something.
That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember. I was like, there's a lot of, I knew somebody was gonna ask that, so I'm glad you wrote that down.
It'll make a small dent in it.
Yeah, makes a small bad, but that's all right.
I want to ask a question, but I don't know if I'm supposed to wait till discussion or if I can ask now. These designated gifts, how does that work with the foundation?
This is not tied to the foundation.
Okay, that's
at
what I
all.
thought,
Mhm.
and that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
All right, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to use the designated gifts from the Helen Schaus Fund for the Lexington tuck pointing project.
All right, second?
I second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to use the designated gifts from the Helen Schaus Fund for the Lexington tuck pointing project. Discussion? Okay, take a vote, please.
Jane Dale,
Yes.
Patty Long,
Yes.
Goldie Edwards,
Yes.
Dan Brigman,
Yes.
Harlan Dillon,
Yes.
Susie Tyler, yes, and Michelle Amos.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. And so that's everything we need. You have that approval and you,
That's it.
that's all we have to do for that. And
As
you'll.
long as it's reflected in the minutes, and Judy's gonna do a wonderful job of that.
Yeah. She's good at minutes.
So then that's all that the auditor will need to see, is that it was in the minutes.
Okay, I just didn't know if we needed to do some kind of other approval or something to make
Nope.
that, okay.
Not this time, not on this.
And that will close those two funds.
Yes, it will.
And I just wanted to say that according to the guidelines we were given, we are meeting what they said they wanted the money used for.
Correct.
Because not everybody can see that, we know that, but
Mhm.
not everybody else does.
Thank you for adding that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Goldie. All right, next on the agenda is consider approval to purchase 4 cell phones for administrative use. Okay, and I think there was a explanation in there of the
Mhm.
different phone companies.
Mhm.
And the recommendation from, I think it was Roger that
Roger,
did that,
mhm,
yes.
Roger and Luke
Was
both, yeah.
the Straight Talk, which was $25 per phone per month with no contract. And there were 3 other companies, so, what's your pleasure? And you said this, the Straight Talk will do for you what it is that you want the cell phones to accomplish?
It should, it'll operate just like a regular cell phone.
Okay.
So Susan, Katie and I will be assigned a cell phone so that we don't have to use our personal for library business. And then there'll be one that stays in administration that can be used for those authentications and things like that.
So describe what that two-way authentication is.
So basically, you go in, you put your password in, and then you have to again authenticate it, usually with a phone number. Sometimes you can do it with an email address, but most of the time it's a phone number. And so we're still trying to recover accounts from where people left because of this. And so we're trying to fix it where, in the future, we won't have that problem. And so the only way to do it is to have some kind of designated cell phone that they can text that code to. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you have a question?
So just to be clear, these are gonna be Trails Regional phones,
Oh, correct.
and we will be able to have access to those phones if someone was to take them, if they quit, we can still have access. to
It's
them.
just like say I have a laptop assigned to me. It's the same thing. It's library equipment and they have to return that just like a credit card or, work credit card that's assigned. You have to return all of that when you leave.
So to clarify, these are smartphones?
They are,
Equivalent to like an iPhone,
Yeah.
sort of?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd be able to check email.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we would be able to do everything just like we could on ours. And of course, Katie does all of our social media accounts but she's been doing it on her personal, so she would like to get that off of her personal phone, and I don't blame her.
Well, and I recommend that simply because of the sunshine law
Yeah.
issues that could arise with personal cell phone use. You don't want your personal cell phone to be pulled away all of a sudden.
Right.
I would also add that having worked with places or worked in places or with groups that had difficulty with that work-life balance, having a work cell phone helps a whole lot for that.
Yeah, I have a work cell phone for my job, and it's a lifesaver. It really is.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense to me, but.
So when I'm on vacation, I can leave the work phone at home.
Yeah.
Mhm. I would think so.
Well, and if, you know, your phone is lost or broken,
Mm-hmm.
you've lost library business if you're
Mhm.
using your personal phone.
Correct.
This way if you lose it and it's library business, we know what to do about it.
Right,
So.
right, yep.
Better all around to have that as a library phone.
Yeah.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
I move we, approve the purchase of the 4 cell phones for administrative use with the, Smart Talk. Straight Talk.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Okay, motion has been made to purchase 4 cell phones for library use from Straight Talk. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote, please.
Jane Deal,
Yes.
Patty Long,
Yes.
Goldie Edwards,
Yes.
Dan Brigman,
Yes.
Carlin Dillon,
Yes.
Judy Tyler, yes. Michelle Amos.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. All right. All right, next we're going to consider approval to discontinue the use of the COVID-19 sick leave.
So this is, basically in addition to the sick leave that they accrue, this is only if they test positive for COVID. And I know Judy and Carlin were here as we kind of went through that after I got here. And so in September of 22, the board did away from using our COVID response plan. But they did leave the being paid for the 5 calendar days or 5 days. So sometimes they don't get paid for that if it's over a weekend or they weren't scheduled to be there, but it's that 5-day window that you're supposed to stay home in quarantine. So
But the CDC's changed that.
they have,
So now, that's why we left that in was because.
Mhm. That's what it was.
CDC said that you needed to stay home,
Correct, yes.
but they've changed that now, so.
And you said there has not been very many people that use it. I just don't.
I know for sure one employee has used it in the last little over a year, and I want to say there was a second one.
Yeah, this says in the last year, 2 employees have utilized it.
Okay, so that it's not really something that's really needed anymore.
I don't think so, and everybody has had a chance to earn sick leave now of their own and should have somewhat of a bank for that.
But that's all that are we getting rid of the barriers, or are we still leaving those? This is just for sick leave.
The board said that, and I know at the time the staff said that they wanted to leave those, and so I didn't bring that tonight, but if you guys want me to bring that, like next month, I can about the barrier.
No, I was just asking if it.
No, it's just the sick leave.
Because it's in this.
Yes.
I must say that someone, not at the library, but at our local bank, has said that they have had, the tellers have had fewer colds. I'm sure. And other illnesses since the barriers have been in place.
Yeah, I'm
Those
sure.
are a good idea.
Yeah, they're there, they're not costing us anything to leave them there.
The only thing with some of them, the way that they're built, and I know they were built they had to hurry up and get something
Mhm.
together. So they're homemade, Billy and Luke, I think, put these together. But they do take up with the board across the desk, and it doesn't inhibit them as much as it does some of the other branches. I would like to explore a different way of having those up so that it's not impeding their workflow. Concordia is one of the worst ones. with it.
Mhm. Yeah, theirs is yeah.
Mhm. It covers that, and they've had to extend it out with a table, and so it's just not really working for them. So we may explore some different options for the barriers, but not get rid of them.
Just adapting.
Okay, do I hear a motion regarding the COVID sick leave?
I'll make a motion that we discontinue the COVID-19 sick leave.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded that we discontinue the COVID-19 sick leave. Will you take a vote, please?
Jane Beal,
Yes.
Patty Long,
Yes.
Goldie Edwards,
Yes.
Dan Brigman,
Yes.
Carlin Dillon,
Yes.
Susie Tyler, yes, and Michelle Amos.
Yes.
All right, motion carried. All right. And the last item on our agenda is discussion on staff recognition ideas. And I'm going to let Dan talk about this because he has some good ideas and,
Dan's the man.
I am, that's what I've heard. What's the plan? So this is a copy of that email language I had sent out back in January when we had discussed an employee recognition, and honestly, some of these were just me brainstorming based on either current positions I've had or past ones, and after discussing with Tessa, there's no official employee recognition at this time.
We are working on this
But
right now too.
You're working on it. So I just had ideas. A simple one is just when you hit your 5-year mark, and then every 5 years thereon, you get something, a little certificate, a picture with the director.
They may not want to be sure.
Yeah, it's totally voluntary.
They have dark rooms at home.
well, that's true.
And then
You're
just,
right.
once you hit those 5 and 10 year marks, there might be something you get that could help with turnover, because it could create a sense of loyalty, like, wow, I hit my 10-year mark, I get this, whatever that is. And then the Masterpiece Award would be more of a recognition for something like going way above and beyond. And it could tie into, if you receive that, you get a small temporary pay increase, or hours of paid leave could be the benefit of receiving that. And then the team member or employee of the month, and then the volunteer of the month. So our volunteers are really important, so we should recognize them. So these were just, again, these are just brainstorming ideas to try to get the ball rolling. Goldie had an idea of calling them Trailblazers, which I thought was a really awesome name.
Cool.
That's much better than the Masterpiece Award. I think Trailblazer, if we're gonna say anything, that would be my vote for that. But I don't know if we needed to like form a little committee to formalize something, and I don't know. But these were my suggestions, and I think we've had about 2 months to think about them, so I don't.
And it might, I mean, if you guys do want to form a committee, it might help if you guys kind of worked with at least one person in administration, if that's Tessa, because we're working on some stuff too, and we don't want to duplicate what the other one is doing. Or maybe we just want to get it together and just do it all, roll it out at the same time. We're hoping to roll out at least the service, the years of service awards at our October meeting, our October All-Staff Day. So that's kind of what we're shooting for. And we hope to have something, everything kind of where we can roll it all out at that meeting with all the staff, so.
I worked at the HAP Center in Higginsville for years. And, they had a deal like if you, and this had to do though with if you did not use any sick leave time, say in a 3-month period,
Oh, okay.
you would earn like 2 hours of time off, vacation time, whatever you want to call it. And
Personal
if
leave,
you,
maybe?
you did it for a whole year, you would have a whole day. You didn't have to use it, but you could, immediately or whenever. Also, once a year, to honor people who had reached like the 5-year, 10-year, 15 and on up mark, there was like a dinner, a little dinner to recognize all those people. So I don't know if library funds you know, could accommodate something like that, but you were talking about
I'm working on
giving
budget right
awards
now.
in October, or just, yeah, just a little luncheon, sandwiches, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sandwiches, chips, salad, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea better than like a certificate or whatever, because I mean, people just take those and say, yay, and then,
Yeah. Oh, and I probably have some pins somewhere in my house, but I don't know
Well,
where they are.
Somebody on the staff said, because they have their, name tag, and they said, you know, like recognized by like color, or, you know, like at like Cracker Barrel, you have the different number of stars on there for how long you worked there, or what level you are, or whatever. And so they thought maybe just having a different background of their name tag, or a star or something to put on their name tag, because they wear those every day they're at work. Just something that would identify.
yeah, kind of some recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to put, on Facebook, the
Mm-hmm.
ones that had the 5 and the 10 and.
Oh, yes.
the 15.
You do realize we have a few that have like 30 years?
30, well, you're looking at working on 38, 2 of them.
Yeah.
This year.
Hmm.
October, no, one of them's October 1st, I forget.
So do we recognize them more times, or do you give them a bigger?
I think when we're first starting out, they would just get whatever that level would be, since it's the first time that we're kind of doing this. And then if they stay, you know, till 40 years, then they'll get something else.
Okay, we have to have somebody keep track of who's been awarded what. So that's time for somebody.
Now listen, if you're gonna poo-poo on the plan, then you gotta be.
I am not, I think it was my idea in the first place.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
We have to think a little, and money, you know, if we're giving out awards, where are we getting the money from? And, another thing I think that would be a good idea to think about is sometimes, okay, some people will take this as a popularity type thing. And I think that while we should recognize people for doing these good things and doing the extra things, I think it would also be a good idea to make sure it's spread out a little bit. Because, and I'm not saying that the people who do the most don't deserve it, but, you know, I think it causes hard feelings if someone always gets it, you know? So we would have.
There's no
Not the
incentive for them
same.
to try
Right.
if, oh, that person always gets it, I'll never, you know.
Yeah, and so we would have to have guidelines. But, see, that wasn't that bad.
Well, or maybe,
Like if Michelle would like to say something.
Oh, I
Right?
put it in the, yes, I put it in the chat also, but if this were to be done on like a quarterly basis or a regular basis throughout the year, a write-up in the paper might be another way to have a recognition that doesn't necessarily break our bank, but also is something that, I don't know, my mom would certainly be proud to be able to look at that too, so.
I'd be proud of that.
Yeah. We'd have to send it back home to
Kentucky, Tennessee, yeah,
whatever local paper.
there you go.
I think if you did it monthly, it might be too
It might be too
I think-
commonplace.
I think, yeah, kind of
It would be happening too
overkill.
much.
Overkill, yeah. We don't want to just do it so much that it's just like, oh, yeah.
It loses its
Another
meaning,
award.
yeah.
Yeah, it
I
needs to
think-
be,
I was gonna say, I think quarterly would be probably at most what you'd want to do.
Then would we do you're at 30 years, you're at 29 years, once a year?
That's what we were thinking as far
that
as
would be the
our
best.
admin team, we were talking about that, and just do that at our all staff day in October.
Mhm.
Would we do anything particularly for branches? And an example I would think of, not that I don't think all the branches are doing a wonderful job, but like Tom Noster just did the Crossroads thing. Could we buy them 5 drinks? I don't know. That's what they always did at school. And so, you know, or something like
Yeah, I
that.
think if there's something like, I mean, and that may not be something that's a regular standing thing, but on occasion, yeah, because that was a lot of work for that staff, yeah. Laura put a lot into that. Well, Dan knows, you were part of that, weren't you?
Yeah, it's fun.
So are we gonna form a committee?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think that's a good idea that we form a committee? I mean, probably it's gonna take some hashing out to get something organized and make sure, like you said, we have everything set up and some way to track it and all that.
And I think Jackie's right, though, that we need to work with somebody in
Yes.
administration.
Yeah. So we could get a committee then that would then work with administration? All right.
Probably Tessa,
Okay. All right, so
volunteer and Tessa.
who wants to volunteer to be on the committee?
Say we volunteer all of the members that aren't here.
I would do that. I've done stuff like this before.
You'll be on the committee.
I'll be on the committee, yeah.
Okay, okay, is there a set number of people that have to be on a committee, or is that just random?
I don't think you can have more than 4.
It's typically 3, and the president by default serves on the committee. Like another committee.
Okay. So that's 3, but do we need one more?
Do we need one from
It
Yeah,
probably
that
will,
was
yeah.
true.
Well,
I'm from
she's from
Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Okay, oh, that's right.
So
But
that
I mean, I'm just kind of a de facto member. I'm just there because an extra body or whatever.
I don't know, do you guys trust her to represent you?
I mean, I don't guess it's necessary, I mean, I don't think it's a requirement for the board president to serve on the committee, but typically,
I mean, I don't mind. It's
Something
just-
like
it
this,
it feels like, you know, oh, well, you get to do all of this. Yeah, lucky you. I just don't want, I don't want to be the person that always does everything, and it seems like that I'm trying to, put my nose in the middle of all of it.
y'all
you
choose
know.
officers for next year coming up too, so, you know. That could change who the president is serving on these committees.
it definitely will.
So is that enough, or do we need one more?
I would say that, to me, that seems like it would be enough,
Plenty.
and then, of course, you would be working with probably Tessa.
Okay,
somebody in
yeah,
administration.
Okay, I'll just, okay. So do we need a motion for that, or do I just appoint that? I just appoint that, you're on. Okay, what are we calling this,
Staff Recognition Committee?
Committee, okay.
SRC.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, and does this committee like stay in place forever, or is it just until is this
This one's
just to establish what's going on, or is it gonna be ongoing, because it's gonna be an ongoing thing, correct?
That sounds like a committee
Yeah,
decision.
we need to work on that.
There you go.
Okay, all right, okay, okay,
Well, and then we need to discuss too, where money is coming from, that type of thing, because
Right.
we would have to have approval for that. Unless we have a big sale.
We're not giving like Rolex watches or nothing away, are we? We're just kind of staying simple.
I don't know, that might incentivize.
You don't know
a lot
about the
of people.
committee, you don't know.
I'm
got a big case, I guess.
Yeah, I might work for
We
that.
should keep it simple but meaningful.
Right.
Yeah.
Something they can appreciate.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be anything big. I mean, like you said, somebody said something about giving them treats or whatever. I had a thought on that. It said somewhere that April 8th to the 12th is National Library Week, and I saw they're doing all kinds of stuff. That would maybe be a time where we could provide snacks or Cokes or something like that.
I would say donuts, but do you know how expensive?
Donuts, yeah, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's like $25 for a dozen donuts.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's just a thought that would be something.
Well, we could also ask, the library staff for ideas of things they would appreciate.
True, yeah, true, but I just thought that would maybe
They
be
say
an
Rolex,
opportune
the
time for
answer's
us to
no.
do something, you know,
How about
like
climate?
quickly.
Well, our branch managers are already supposed to be brainstorming about this. She's like, what? What?
They're either storming or drizzling, one or the other.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
hope for the donut.
Oh my God, you're gonna have a massage almost for the price of donuts.
I probably need one after all this.
Probably will.
Okay. So,
Oh, my
That's basically all we need to do for this tonight. We got the committee, and Dan, you're the chairman.
I vote.
That means you have to be in charge of calling meetings and taking care of stuff and everything, so. I mean, I don't care, I'm just,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll figure
You
it
weren't
out.
expecting that when you volunteered to be on the committee, were you?
I take it as it comes.
Oh, well, we can do it as a group. It's just better if somebody's in charge, because then everybody's not.
We have someone to blame.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or we're all thinking somebody else is gonna do it and nobody does it, yeah. Okay, now, is there,
Then Patty mentioned April 8th through 12th that week. Are we, should we,
Are we doing anything
thinking about
for-
doing something? Or would it be just for a branch, like if I got something?
If you
Well, I
wanted to
don't know
take
if we can
something
do
to your
that. We
local
can-
branch,
we-
the only thing is I wouldn't want to leave one of our branches out.
yeah, that's true.
I have already volunteered to do something. If you notice on Kendra's.
Yeah, it's back there.
Okay, yeah.
Upcoming, they got some sort of somebody gave some money or something.
Mhm,
So on Tuesday of that week, the 8th, they're giving out cookies to patrons.
that's right.
And, and they were gonna have a board member or whatever to come in during part of the day to hand out cookies. So she already asked me. I told her if I could
Okay,
come
yeah,
over
so,
to
I mean,
hand out cookies at the Odessa branch.
I guess that's the point, we don't wanna leave out any of the branches, but I just thought that would be an nice thing to do.
This isn't much of a thing to do, but maybe we could send a card from the board. I know, I mean, it's short term, but
Yeah,
it's not exactly a present, but, you know, like a card from the board congratulating everybody on that week. And
Yeah, that's a nice.
And if anybody wanted to drop off treats, we do have the courier, so
Okay.
you wouldn't have to go to all the branches to send, we could send it in on the courier for the staff for that branch.
Okay.
Just a thought.
I was thinking like Porter Branch, I'm only gonna have to worry about one person.
Oh, no.
They're gonna have a lot of treats.
Well, hey, I fill in over there.
What
Some of the
day?
other staff are filling in over there.
Well, what day are you gonna get?
None, well, I don't know about that week. Next week, I'm not there any. Yeah, usually I'm there a Saturday and then Monday the following week. But we're hoping we find someone soon, so then I won't have to go over there. I have a couple of applications on my desk.
That's not from out of state or anything.
No, I don't believe they're from us. Not this time.
Uh-huh, especially a 30-hour week.
Was
Yeah.
there, the person that you offered it to, was there a reason why they chose not to do it, that they shared, or?
They shared that they needed 40 hours, but they needed
Okay.
full-time.
I wondered about that.
And
The quarter's not open then.
they're only open 30 hours a week. So I have thought about that, and it's like, well, maybe we could use them 10 hours somewhere else and turn that into a 40-hour, but they would have to work at another branch. So I don't know if that would,
Yeah.
interest anyone either.
I bet it would.
So then that way they would be at 40 hours, they'd have to be there 30, and then have to work somewhere else for 10.
But they would be eligible for benefits.
They are at 30 hours
they are,
too.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's tiered, is how we do that.
They don't even qualify then for benefits.
Yes, they do. We have different tiers. We have I don't know why we have that tier, but no, we have no one employed in 20 to 29 hours. And then we have 30 to 39 and then 40. And so your benefits increase as you go up.
What position is for again?
Quarter branch manager.
Maybe the other 10 hours they could kind of float around where needed.
Possible, yeah. Or working, somewhere in administration, we
Or a
do.
special
There is
project.
not a lack of things to do, let me tell you.
Yeah, special project of some sort.
That's kind of your call.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to, if we wanted to turn it into 40-hour position, I would have
Yeah.
to bring that to the board.
So is the library doing anything for the solar eclipse? I mean, are they having?
So, and that's kind of, well, I know Patty mentioned there on the announcement. No, it's okay. No, you're fine. The solar eclipse is April 8th. And so some of them were already planning on doing something, but then Katie had applied for this grant to get free solar or eclipse glasses. And they didn't tell her until like last week that, yeah, you got this. And so now I think everybody's scrambling. Am I correct?
We are live streaming it from NASA. And then we have the glasses on hand too, so they can come in and watch it, or they can go outside and see it.
So
We
they
had
had to-
signed up on this program with NASA, but we are signed up for it.
So they're having to kind of scramble and do something last minute because this is tied to a grant and that's a requirement. You have to do a program. You can't just hand the glasses out. So because no communication from the grant until the last minute,
Right.
and now we're just hoping and praying that they come in because I don't think they've actually gotten to us yet. So, but now all the branches have planned something. And so anyway, we have 200 glasses that we purchased that are not tied to the grant. So we do have some already. But this was supposed to give us 500 more.
Give you so many out to each branch, and then they could take turns going outside and looking and coming back and
Yeah,
changing the
take-
glasses.
there you go. That would work.
It would.
That would work.
The school.
Oh, okay.
What time is the?
118 or something like that?
Yeah. Okay.
Did you have, were you getting ready to say
I was just gonna say that the schools have, classes,
something?
or at least most of them do. So any of the homeschool kids groups and stuff, they might be a good group to reach out to.
There are a plethora of homeschools.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Especially since-
other branches, but there
Especially
seems to
since
be.
COVID.
I would say there's probably a good homeschool population at all of our branches.
I think so too. Okay, so we've got a committee for the staff recognition. I think that is all of our business. So you have announcements, or we already talked about that?
We already talked about them, I guess.
Okay.
And we are doing a
127.
120.
127 in the, yeah.
127.
And we are doing a Spirit Week with staff, so they get to dress, you know, certain way each day for National Library Week again. So. And don't ask me what they are this time, like I don't remember.
Okay, so anything from anybody else?
Do you know if the foundation, because I know the foundation, like, was it last year or the year before, gave things to the librarians for National Library Week?
Not last, they haven't done that since I've been here.
Does Trails do anything like that?
Not since I've been here, we haven't.
Okay.
Anywhere that I've ever worked, it's usually the board that has done that, or people in the community would bring goodies. A lot of times it's just home cooked stuff. Somebody brought like a veggie tray, cheese and crackers, or, you know, just something for the staff. But the library system, I don't think any that I have ever worked for has not done it during National Library Week.
Okay, so if there's no other business,
I was just going to say, for the record, the display that's up right now in the Warrensburg branch with the quotes and underneath it shows who said them. I think it was put up for Black History Month or maybe for Women's History Month because some of them are Black women. At any rate, I have heard praise from 3 different people I know for that display. So, yeah, people like it. Whoever came
all
up with
the
that idea, awesome.
I think all the branches have a display up like that, right? Women's History? No. Okay. Some of the branches.
We have what she said.
Yeah. But that's for
It
history.
is, yeah.
Yeah, they have one too.
Yeah.
So,
What
yeah, all
she
the
said,
branches have that.
The quote they said, and then they tell you who it is.
Yeah.
cool. That's fun. All right. No other business, meeting is adjourned.
We go in the live stream.
Way better than the last one here, right?
Hopefully.
Judy, thank you for doing the minutes.
I remember a few on them.
Well, Washington.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.